Hi, I'm Stephen Koenigswarter. I'm the founder of The Health Factory and I am its director. I get asked a lot of questions and we're going to make this film to put down some information, some basic information, some answers to these questions. First question, what is a colloid? A colloid is when you have something in suspension in something else. Now, what does suspension mean? It means that it doesn't go up, it doesn't go down. It just defies gravity and it floats around. We're talking about water, obviously, because that's what we're making. We're making mineral colloids in water. So the thing that's in suspension is a mineral, silver, gold, whatever you like, magnesium, iron. So what makes it a colloid? What makes it a high quality colloid is the particle size. It comes down to particle size. So people talk a lot about ppm or parts per million as if this is a measure of quality. It is not. It is a measure of quantity, okay? For an example of that, if I take a silver rock that's this big, and let's say I put it into this bottle of water and I just drop it in, you'd have a very high ppm. You'd have 100 or 1,000 ppm. Now, that might be a high ppm, but do you think that's going to do you any good? No, it's not at all. A much lower ppm, say even 5 or 2 ppm, with particles that are microscopic in size, particles that are nanometric or billionths of a meter in size, is going to do you a lot more good. So let's dispense with the myth that ppm is a measure of quality. It's not. It's a measure of quantity. There's a big argument in the market between ionic colloids or ionic solutions and true colloids. The Health Factory used to make ionic colloidal silver. A true colloid in quality is much lower than what we're making. And that comes down to particle size. An ionic colloidal silver, you won't see any color in it. This is because it has truly small particle size. Now, a lower quality product has a larger particle size. Remember our lump of silver. A good quality ionic colloidal silver, you will not see any color in the solution. It will look like water. That's because the particle size is so small. It's below 20 nanometers, which means that light passes through the particles. They're so small, light goes through them. Photons pass through and don't reflect out. That's very high quality. Lower quality is when you start to see color in the solution. This is a larger particle size. With a larger particle size, you have a smaller surface area. It can affect less and less pathogens because of the larger particle size. Pure and simple, lower quality. Good. Now, above both of those, the quality-wise, you have zeta potential, okay? Our particles they're actually particles, but then they are ionic in nature. They imitate ionic particles because what happens with ionic silver is that it's missing an electron, okay? So it's then hungry for electrons and it goes looking for pathogens. And thank goodness it does, because the bad bugs are negatively charged. So ionic colloidal silver goes looking for the bad bacteria, the viruses, the fungus that are hurting you in your body, and it kills them to get that electron off of them. Which is great. It's a big bully. It goes in and beats up all the bad bugs. Now, With zeta potential, the only way you can get zeta potential is an energy that surrounds a particle. Now, high zeta potential means a lot of energy, and this energy is extremely good for your health as well. It's a very powerful form of energy. And what we do is, and I believe we are the only company that does this, is we maximize the energy of the zeta potential because we control not only the size of our particles, but the shape of our particles. And you're going to see a picture now of a really round spherical particle with a nice energy around it. And then you'll see another picture of a not so round particle. And it won't have so much energy around it. And that gives you the clue. When you can control the particle shape, there's no particle interference into the energy field due to irregular shapes. Those irregular shapes reduce the energy availability around the particle. Boy, that sounded complicated. Basically, a sphere means high energy particle, high energy around your particle. A non-controlled shape means lower zeta potential. Zeta potential is very powerful energy, and it means that we have a real particle, unlike ionic silver, like colloidal silver, but with the benefit of the energy of the ionic silver product. The reason why I can say that is because our zeta potential is giving off and looking for electrons. So it imitates an ionic particle in nature, and in that it is hungry for pathogenic particles, anaerobic particles, negatively charged particles. It goes hunting for them. It's much more powerful than the ionic particle, and it has a full particle of silver. It's not missing any electrons. That's the simplicity of it, and that's why the Health Factory's product is truly superior. That plus one more reason. Silver is light sensitive. For some reason, none of these other companies seem to recognize this. The Health Factory, as far as I know, is the only company that manufactures the silver in pitch blackness and packages it in this super high quality dark violet glass, which is better than even full blackout. It actually aids the energization of the product. This is very sophisticated glass. One more thing that's really important. People seem to be aware that the Health Factory's silver is good for a detox. You wouldn't do that with a true colloid because the particle size is too large, can get stuck under the skin, and you can get argyria if you use silver in that kind of quantity that you would need for a detox. This is really the only product you would want to use at that kind of volume. So in summary, just a couple of points. If you're going to buy a silver product of any kind, make sure you get the highest quality. How do you know whether it's the highest quality? One, particle size. Particle size is almost everything when it comes to quality. Check to see if it has particle size on the bottle. And if they're saying that they have tiny, tiny particle size, measured in nanometers, and the solution is yellow, then they are not telling the truth. It's that simple, okay? If it is a high quality, low particle size solution, it will be crystal clear. Good. Now the next thing you need to know is zeta potential. Okay, that is really important when it comes to quality. That means you really have quality. If it gives you a measure of the zeta potential on the bottle, like for example our silver product will say plus 60 millivolts, then you know you've got a high quality product. Okay, zeta potential is truly a measure of quality. ppm is not a measure of quality. I can't stress that enough. You can have 100 ppm product that is, massive asteroid particle size in the bottle. That's not going to do you any good. Jagged, uncontrolled particles that are falling to the bottom of the bottle with no energy around them at all, no zeta potential, that is very low quality. So those are the two key things you need to look at. Particle size, do you trust the particle size that they're saying on the bottle? And two, zeta potential. Do they say they've got zeta potential? Did they measure it? Is it on the label? I'm done. Thank you. And see you next time.